Good afternoon. Good afternoon, responsive audience. Good afternoon and welcome to the Spring 2023 Commencement Ceremony for the Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design. My name is Peter McKeith. It's my privilege to be the Dean of the Fay Jones School and to welcome one and all. Before further welcoming remarks, we'd like to begin first with the playing of our national anthem, followed by Lift Every Voice and Sing, the Black National Anthem. Could you please rise, and if you're wearing a cap or hat, please remove that, and let us listen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare above thirsty air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the pain that the darkness has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you. While I have everyone standing, and not to presume upon your stamina here, but there are so many in this audience who deserve our applause. In the first place, we are privileged today by the company of Dr. Charles Robinson, the Chancellor of the University of Arkansas, as well as by the Chairman of the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees, Morrill Harriman. May I ask for a round of welcoming applause for both of those gentlemen. Secondly, and I think both the Chairman Harriman and Dr. Robinson would agree with me, that I'd like to ask our graduates to turn to their parents, families, and friends and offer them their round of applause, and we will offer our round for the gratitude of the privilege of being with them. And lastly, with our faculty standing and everyone again still standing, please offer our faculty, our superb faculty, a round of applause and gratitude for their good work that they do. Please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you. Briefly put, this is a moment of celebration. We celebrate many, many students, and as we've just understood, faculty, our staff, and certainly the families and the larger family of the Fay Jones School today. We are celebrating with the largest graduating class in the history of the Fay Jones School, some 123 graduates today. We are celebrating a rather exceptional, or at least stupendous year of faculty accomplishments in research, in creative practice, and in teaching recognition. And again, the representative selection of our faculty themselves have demonstrated this excellence time and again over this year. Equally, we have had a year of student accomplishment in landscape architecture, in interior architecture and design, in preservation design, in studies in architectural history, and in architecture itself. There has been significant student accomplishment, again with the assistance of our faculty. This is indeed an exceptional year and a moment to celebrate. And it is also, I would say now, a moment in which we should take pause. We should slow down. If we have learned anything, perhaps, from the studies that our students have undertaken in design, is that those days and those hours go very, very quickly and intensely. I see some nodding heads. This is a moment to slow down, to take a pause, to listen to your heart, and appreciate all that you have accomplished, and together with us, to celebrate all that you have accomplished. That is certainly what is our hope for this ceremony today. So please take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, and let's begin. I do want to remind everyone who would like to be participating online that there is a QR code available that they can follow the program online. But beyond that, we begin first with the first of 4 exceptional students who will offer remarks along the way today. I introduce to you senior scholar Conley Lentz of Cabot, Arkansas, receiving her Bachelor of Architecture today to provide a student word of welcome. Conley, if you would.
Thank you, Dean McKeith. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to the Spring 2023 graduation ceremony for the Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design. I want to start by thanking the friends, family, and faculty joining us here today to celebrate this graduating class. I stand here before you reflecting back on the 5 years that we spent here at the Fay Jones School. When our journey began in the fall of 2018, one of our first assignments was to draw circles using only straight lines, and it was at that point that I knew I was in for an interesting ride. But I don't think any of us knew just how unique and challenging this experience was going to be. We have persevered through a year and a half of virtual learning, a semester in Gladstone Ripley, and all the rest of the challenges that come with design school. None of this would have been possible without the amazing faculty here supporting us. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the many professors that have guided me and my fellow classmates during our time here. It is the dedication and passion of these professors that have shaped us into the young designers that we are today. I know that we will take the lessons and skills that we have learned from you into the next phase of our lives. Whether that be working in the design field, going to grad school, or pursuing another path, I'm excited to see where my fellow classmates will take the new ways of thinking that we were taught here and apply it to their future. It is these classmates that I want to thank next, for without you and all of your friendship, I would not be here today. I don't think any of us would be here without the kindness and support offered in and out of studio. I will cherish the memories that we made here, and I hope that our paths cross again in the future. Lastly, but certainly not least, I want to thank the friends and family that supported us through these past 5 years. Thank you for understanding all the late nights, listening to us talk about our design projects even when you had no idea what we were saying, and being there when we needed you. On behalf of the class of 2023, I want to welcome and thank everyone again for attending this celebration of our hard work and dedication. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Each year, for the past 9, we have taken time in our spring commencement ceremony to recognize not only the graduates, in this case of 2023, but the graduates of 50 years ago and 25 years ago, our so-called golden and silver graduates. We have a succession of slides here to show, indicating the number and range of those graduates from 50 years, 1973, and also from 25 years ago, 1998. And I will say only without naming each and every one of these students that they have all gone on to good, purposeful, impactful lives in architecture and design themselves. But looking ahead to remarks further in the ceremony, if we think only of the year 1973, 50 years ago, 2 generations ago, perhaps some in the audience will remember their own youthful moment then. It was a year in which the Sears Tower, no longer called that in Chicago, topped out, and in which the Sydney Opera House was also completed. But that's architecture and architectural culture alone. It was the year in which Skylab was launched, in which the first cell phone call was made on a Motorola phone. The Watergate hearings began. The Vietnam Peace Treaty was signed. The Godfather won the Oscar for Best Film of the Year. And the Endangered Species Act was passed by the U.S. Congress. I offer that to provide us some perspective as to where perhaps we have come or perhaps how far we still have to go, given that 50-year perspective. And we'll think about that again later on in the ceremony. But for now, I'd like to welcome the Chancellor of the University of Arkansas, Dr. Charles Robinson, to the podium to offer his own greetings and words for today. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Dean. Class 2023, this is your day, and you should celebrate it responsibly, of course. But it is a great day for you, and truly not just for you. There's no day in the calendar, or on the calendar of a university, more important than graduation day. No day. I don't care if we make the Elite 8 3 years in a row, or 2 years in a row, and then the Sweet 16, almost Elite 8 in the 3rd year. I don't care if we go to the World Series. I don't care if we play Texas and beat them down, which we did. Now that one's close, that's close. This day is the most important, and you should celebrate it like it is the wonderful day that it is. And of course, you won't be the only one celebrating. Paying parents all over the university. Yes, clap, I was one of those. Are celebrating as well. And then of course, as the dean mentioned, he always seems to steal my thunder when he speaks before me, but that's okay, Dean. Reflect on all that you've accomplished, what you've come through. Remember COVID? I do. It was not a pleasant time, but you are here, and you came through it, and you're more resilient than ever before. And then the last thing I want you to do is kind of looking forward. I want you to think about the importance of citizenship. Citizenship is important now, I believe, like never before. And what really makes a good citizen is this strong combination of sacrifice and service. You don't have to join the military to serve. You don't have to join the military to sacrifice. There's plenty to do as a civilian. And with the skills that you have now, you can be responsible for helping to solve the problem of homelessness in this country. The skills you have now, you could help us deal better with global warming challenges and conservation. We need you now like never before. So I want you to really think about how you can contribute as you move forward. And always remember that your university will always be grateful to you, not just because you were a student here, but because now you go on to represent us all over the world. And your name will be indelibly sketched in the sidewalk, because now you are going to be able to come back with your families and see that, yes, you did do this and this was real. It's a great, great day. I'm very, very honored to be your chancellor. I look forward to the great things that you will absolutely do. And don't forget your university as you move forward and do these great things. This is an alumni moment now. Remember us, because we need you to be all that we need to be and want to be. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Chancellor Robinson. I'm Ethel Goodstein-Murphy. I have the honor of serving as the Associate Dean of the Fay Jones School, and at the risk of saying the wrong thing, the special pleasure of being a professor of architecture. Last month, the Fay Jones School recognized outstanding achievements of our students at our Honors and Awards recognition reception. Although time does not permit us to recap those announcements in detail today, we'll take the opportunity to honor these distinguished graduates once again. All recipients of final year awards and distinctions, including our Honors College scholars, please stand. No time to be modest. Up we go. How about a round of applause? And to make sure there's always a little something special for commencement, we do announce one more award. And that is the ARCC King Medal, sponsored by the Architectural Research Centers Consortium. It's an award that is given to a student in each ARCC member college, school, institute, or unit. Selection of recipients is based upon the criteria that they have produced work that shows innovation, integrity, and scholarship of outstanding measure in architectural and/or environmental design research. This year's recipient of the ARCC King Medal is Honors Landscape Architecture student Jessica Shearman for her honors capstone entitled Perceived Equitable Access and Investigation of the Northwest Arkansas Regional Greenway. Now, and among an enviable collection of nominees for the medal, the Honors Committee is also happy to name an honorable mention, which goes to Camilla Salguero for her honors thesis, Designing for Mass Customization and Sustainable Housing with Generative Design. Camilla. So with that, our special recognitions have been delivered. Best congratulations to everyone gathered today.
Thank you, Dr. Goodstein, and thank you for the surprise award that I did not know of. My role today is to provide general reflections on this very momentous occasion. When considering what reflections I would discuss, my first thought, of course, was, thank goodness I never have to do a final review again. And I think that alone deserves a sigh of relief for all of us. The past 4 or 5 years have been more challenging than any of us could have expected our undergraduate education to be. Still, we have persevered through the unknown, and today is truly a testament of our hard work. As designers of space, we are trained on a specific tool set to create places that improve the environment and quality of life of individuals. Learning those skills is rigorous, to definitely say the least, and I would like to thank the staff and faculty for providing us innumerable support, guidance, and mentorship while giving us these needed tools. I also thank the family and friends here today supporting the graduates. While the past years have felt like we eat, sleep, and breathe architecture, they have been reminders to focus on our mental health and other aspects of life. Finally, as I reflect on the past 4 years, I focus on the memories I have made with my peers. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking with several alumni from several decades ago who were in town for a landscape architecture conference. They discussed memories and war stories of their studio class with me and other graduating peers. It was astonishing to me the closeness that this large group of peers still feels after 30 years have passed. That closeness truly speaks to what we have accomplished today. It is fair to say that many of us may not have thought today was in the cards for us. I know I did not. We have not just been prepared to provide solutions to emerging opportunities and problems, we have also gained a cohort of individuals with whom we will have a unique relationship no matter how many decades have passed. It is easy to get caught up in the following steps after graduation. Still, it is important to celebrate what we have all accomplished today and the memories and relationships we have gained along the way. Congratulations to the graduates, and thank you to those who have had a role in getting all of us here to this moment today. And with that, I hand it back to Samantha.
Good afternoon. I'm Samantha Hernandez, and I'm graduating with an architectural studies major today. I have the privilege today of introducing our commencement speaker, Brandon Bibby. Mr. Bibby is a native to the Arkansas Delta and an esteemed 2014 alumnus of the Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design, where he was the recipient of the Alpha Rho Chi Bronze Medal. He has found his niche in architecture through matters of representation, narrative, and access, especially with regard to marginalized communities. He questions their interactions and relationships with a focus on memory, culture, and movement in conjunction with Black space. Mr. Bibby began professional practice with WER Architects and Planners in Little Rock, Arkansas, and was later a fellow and senior architect at the Public Memory and Memorials Lab. Mr. Bibby is currently the senior preservation architect for the African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund. He is a champion for social justice and impactful change through preserving Black activism and resilience in the American landscape. Some of his recent works include the John and Alice Coltrane Home in Dix Hills, Langston Hughes House in Harlem, Robert's Temple Church of God in Christ in Chicago, and King's Chapel Memorial to Enslaved Persons in Boston. Due to his work crossing through disciplines and prescribed ideas of community, Bibby was a 2022 Ones to Watch awardee and scholar with the American Society of Interior Designers. In 2019, he was named a new influential in Arkansas's Businesses list of 20 in their 20s. He taught at the Boston Architectural College and with the American Institute of Architects, Architecture and Design Network, and AARP, and served as a health equity advisor with the International Well Building Institute. Brandon Bibby is a poignant example of what community activism means for an individual in their chosen field and shows the impact interdisciplinary work can have. I'm honored to welcome him to the podium. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Dean and Associate Dean for the honor of being invited back here to campus to speak to you today. To think that my colleagues, mentors, and teachers feel that I'm qualified enough to stand before you is humbling. To all the graduates, I congratulate you on one of the greatest accomplishments and milestones along your journey. To your families and friends, we thank you for shaping and uplifting this generation of creative minds and thought leaders with big tasks ahead of them. I doubt most of you know who I am, but I hope that by the end of our time together, you at least find a piece of yourself in my story. I am the son of the late Dee and Frankie Bibby. I'm a native of South Arkansas and a descendant of my Bisa, Brahme, and Balanta ancestors. I'm a descendant of English colonizers of northern Louisiana and the African and Caribbean women that they enslaved. I, too, am a descendant of freed men and women who found opportunity to raise generations of family in this state, despite all odds against their livelihood and survival. My ancestors are Creole, Mulatto, Haitian, Irish, African, English. I am African American, I am Black in America, and I am American. Here stands a little boy who struggled with that identity, his place in society, and the spaces that he occupies. His picturesque memories include being 3 years old when he lost his father, but being 3 years old when his mom put him and his sister into martial arts. He remembers taking his first standardized tests at the age of 7 and being sent to the counselor's office because he was confused about why the test assigned to him assigned his identity a color where the only spectrum was black and white. He was 7 the day that his mom taught him the realities of his body's presence in public space. He was 13 when he was first called outside of his name in a public space, but 13 when his mom encouraged him to express his creativity through dance and music. He was 19 when he believed a professor who told him his ideas weren't necessarily good enough. He picked up the phone at 3 a.m., and on the other side was a mom assuring her son that he was good enough for anything, and especially for being an architect. The reality is that my life could have taken many different turns, but a mother's love was always there to guide me back to my purpose. I was 31 years old when I lost my mom to COVID, because the places that we occupy are still not built for healing. It's safe to say that my relationship with the built environment has always been complicated. The buildings I knew growing up were not traditionally viewed as beautiful, but instead it consisted of neglected structures, marginalized spaces that juxtapose the style and grace of my community and culture. Socially, I felt shame in the buildings that I occupied and fear of those that I didn't. Over time, I found that beauty existed in abundance around me, if only I changed the perspective from which I was looking. And I became an architect to make that change in perspective accessible to others too. However, I didn't always have the words to describe that why like I have in front of you today. It wasn't until several years after college that I reflected on the absence of my presence and my practice in places that were most familiar to me. I currently live in Cambridge, Massachusetts, while working in an organization based in Washington, D.C., surrounded by some of the world's brightest minds and meaningful influence. And they're asking me, this little boy from South Arkansas, about his ideas and his opinions. No amount of architectural design training could compare to that empathy built through my lived experience that has brought me closer to the communities that I partner and now work with across the country. Graduates, today is a day to celebrate your accomplishments, but I challenge you to start thinking about what you will do with the opportunities in front of you. You now possess tools and skills that very few people in this world have. Combine that with your individuality and everything that you've endured to be here today, and your potential is endless. The ability to draw upon the fear that I experienced as a child in spaces I felt I didn't belong is way more valuable to me than making any plan or building detail. So you're worth more than making pretty pictures. You're worth more than picking paints, patterns, and plants. I know you probably don't understand, well, I want you to know and understand how meaningful and impactful all of that and you can be. You probably don't know your purpose or your why right now, and you'll likely not know tomorrow or even 7 years down the road. But you'll find a way to use your tools and make an impact. The professions that you're entering influence how people come together and how they tear apart. The quality of what you produce contributes to what future generations will consider beautiful and whose environments end in blight. Designers, planners, architects, landscape architects, historians, preservationists, they all shape our world and influence the public perception of it. That responsibility falls on more than politicians, doctors, and lawyers, because they're looking at you as the experts in the built environment. From this day forward, you hold a credential that is a skeleton key to rooms of individuals across the globe that are grappling with some of society's most challenging crises. What will you do with the access that you have unlocked? You have earned a seat at the table where the agenda is improving communities' physical health and emotional health. Who are you demanding as your +1 to that table? Ahead of you is a tremendous amount of responsibility, and work towards addressing the systemic issues and impacts caused by poor planning practices on the behalf of our predecessors in our fields? Will future generations have to fix what you left, or will they pick off where you left off? We can't change the past, but we can work together in the present to sustain the abilities of future generations. So the journey ahead of you is bright, but it will require really hard work. You have to own your worth, your individuality, your story, and your perspective, because no one in the world has that combination but you. It doesn't begin or end here, but you have reached an intersection where you can figure out which path you want to take. The only wrong choice is the one you aren't passionate about taking, but there is always time to change that course. The individuals graduating today, to your left and right, front and back, are going to be your biggest supporters moving forward. So be there for each other, champion each other, and challenge each other. As you move forward, hold on to the things that motivate you and improve you to do more. Let go of the things holding you complacent. Surround yourselves with the people who love you and love what you do, because love inspires the creativity and the ingenuity that we need more of in the world now. So Faye Jones School of Architecture and Design graduates, I hope you're ready to do something truly exceptional with your future opportunity. Thank you, and once again, congratulations, class of 2023.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Take a pause, because now is the moment you have all been waiting for, the awarding of degrees. And I say awarding deliberately, because your degrees have already been conferred this morning by Chancellor Robinson at the all-university commencement ceremony some hours ago. Some of you perhaps thought to attend, but we were there representing you. Now we have the pleasure presenting them to you, and we will present in degree order, beginning with our Master of Design Studies degree recipients, followed by Bachelor of Landscape Architecture degree recipients, followed by Bachelor of Interior Architecture and Design recipients, concluding with Bachelor of Architecture and Bachelor of Science recipients. So to begin, I'd like to ask Assistant Dean and Director of our graduate programs, Jennifer Webb, to begin with the Master of Design Studies. Jennifer.
Hello.
Sorry, and we need to ask the graduates to begin.
If the graduates of the Master of Design Studies degree would join me on stage, I would like to congratulate them. They've achieved areas of concentration in health and wellness design, resiliency design, and integrated wood design.
Amanda Burcham. Tyler Hash.
Luke Young.
My name is Ken McCown. I serve as the head of the Department of Landscape Architecture. And I'd also like to note that I also lead the sustainability minor. And congratulations and thank you to all of you who have invested in the sustainability minor the last 4 years. Now we will award the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture Studies and the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. Students, graduates, please approach the stage where we will award the degrees. Congratulations.
Tristan Lewis.
Sydney Moore.
Emily Booth. Rebecca Crowley, high distinction. Isaac Diaz. Kada Ivy Fisher, distinction. Charles Allen Goodgame Jr., distinction. Landon Faye Green, high distinction. Luis Antonio Jorge Hernandez. Riley Lortz.
John Marion. Brett Paris. Philip Thomas Partain. Hagen W. Rushing, distinction. Jessica Shearman, magna cum laude. Hunter Reed Waters, distinction.
Hi, I'm Carl Matthews, the head of Interior Architecture and Design, and this class holds a special place in my heart. Just a few weeks before we vacated the campus for COVID, we had a fantastic field trip, and the less we say about a night in the Frank Lloyd Wright Price Tower, the better. So if you'll join me up here, we'll celebrate.
Shannon Bensick. Emily Borgfeld. Taylor Brown, high distinction. Abigail Chandler. Emily Ann Creek, distinction. Hannah Isabel Eslick. Maya Fallows, high distinction. Emily Fordyce, high distinction. Mia Hake. Sydney Arita Hanyevitz. Caitlin Hill. Ivy Huang, high distinction. Krista Hunt, high distinction. Margaret Catherine Ember. Kendall Renee Kennedy. Madison Claire King.
Jade McKnight, distinction. Anna Grace McMorran. Ford Modisette. Megan Elizabeth James. Audrey Pace, high distinction. Ellison Rowe Josephine Pollitt. Ava Gail Prentice. Haley Nicole Russell. Madison A. Shell. Skylar Strock, distinction. Caitlin Therion.
Thank you.
Sadie Uselton. Dominique Vong. Ashlyn Renee Weedman, distinction. Emily Leanne Wright, highest distinction. Hayden Marie Wyrick, summa cum laude.
Good afternoon. I'm John Fullen. I'm the head of the Department of Architecture, and it is my distinct pleasure to invite class of 2023 Bachelor of Architecture and Bachelor of Architectural Studies graduates to the stage.
Emma Edwards, high distinction. Dawson Irvie.
Kimberly Marie Morlock. Julia Rose Razor, high distinction. Mackenzie Craig Rogers. Parker Seen.
Kelly Allspaw. Joshua Amaya. Lindsay Michelle Anderson. Diego Ayala. Gregory Aslin. Milo Barnes, high distinction. William Ethan Bellamy. Isaac Benchoff, magna cum laude. Noah Harrison Berg, magna cum laude. Victoria Best, cum laude.
Congrats to you. Thank you.
Hannah Blang. Josephine Alexis Boynton. Carter Brooks. Ava Christine Buiza. Olivia Grace Fuller Caldwell. Hadley Mae Carter. Alan Castro. Meredith Cohen, distinction. Nate Cole, magna cum laude. Emily Kate Coleman. Emily Compian Sanchez. Alexander Cooper, cum laude. Jake Monroe Dietz.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir.
Lauren Nicole Dillon, distinction. Thomas Franklin Donaldson III, distinction. Allison Druger. Nicole Maria Finder.
Samantha Elena Hernandez, summa cum laude.
Jeremy Foley. Nayeli Garcia. Brock Harper. Bethany Joy Holden. Derek Jebson, distinction. Annie Johnson. Mark Edward Johnson, Jr. Shelby Carafa. Jessica Christine Kim. Conley Lentz, summa cum laude.
Thank you very much.
Joshua Lowry.
Harley Louise Maroy, distinction. Katie Elizabeth Marshall. Sarah McBride. Chaz McCrae, high distinction. Nicholas James Monks. Sewon Park, distinction. Hannah Elaine Peavy. Dugan Phillips, distinction. Andrew Pop, cum laude. Cameron Christopher Riffle, high distinction. Evan Roberts. Tanya Camila Salguero Ponce de Leon, cum laude. Jacob Austin Settlemeyer, cum laude. Sally Sen. John Slack. Mason Smith. Brett Evans Sorters. Aninditha Sudakaran, magna cum laude. Laura Nicole Waring, distinction. Grant Detchen Wilson, cum laude. Natalie Elizabeth Wish, distinction.
Thank you very much.
Yoji Yamakita.
Chloe DeVexery, cum laude.
Patrick Joseph Claybrook.
A moment. It is a moment for applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the class of 2023. I indicated earlier that we had 4 senior scholars to hear from today. You've heard from 3. Our 4th and final senior scholar is Hayden Wyrick to offer a word of gratitude.
Now that the class of 2023 has been awarded our respective degrees, I would like to take a moment to express gratitude before we begin our celebrations. As I'm sure many of my fellow students and classmates can agree, none of us would have crossed this stage today without the support of our families, friends, faculty, and staff. The Fay Jones School is built upon a multidisciplinary foundation, proving that when we work together, our ideas and contributions to the world are greater. With this, I would first like to say thank you to my fellow students and classmates. Coming from the student's perspective, I recognize the dedication and hard work we have all put forth. I feel as if we don't hear it enough, so I want to show appreciation for us who have worked through the exhaustion, critiques, and adversities faced. We all have our reasons as to why we push through these challenging times, and for many of us, these reasons are because of the people in this room today. Thank you to the faculty who have provided us with opportunities to grow and learn as individuals and designers. Your commitment to us as students is admirable, and I hope you know it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you to the staff that has provided the guidance and assistance we needed to navigate college. Thank you to the donors and alumni who have so graciously contributed to our schooling and opened new doors for us. Thank you to the family and friends that have offered unwavering support throughout your student's school career. And lastly, thank you to the Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design for offering a space where we all can come together and contribute to a collective support system of people who are making a difference in the world.
And please, maybe a collective round of applause for our 4 senior scholars and their contribution to the ceremony today. A very few concluding remarks. The first remarks are actually provided to me from the University of Arkansas Alumni Association. Congratulations, class of 2023, on joining a community of more than 170,000 living Arkansas alumni. The Alumni Association encourages you to stay connected with your University of Arkansas family on campus and around the world, and to help you maintain your connections and grow your alumni network, the Alumni Association is gifting you with a 1-year complimentary membership. As you leave the stage today, stop by the association table at the back to receive an alumni decal, a special edition zipper pull, a secret decoder ring, and more information about your membership. Finally, your name, as Chancellor Robinson has indicated, will be soon engraved on the sidewalks of this campus. Cherish that on Senior Walk and know that you are part of a unique tradition. And from the Alumni Association, congratulations. But in this place and in this time, at this moment, I will offer just one last encouragement and remind you of the world of 1973. Because as I think Dr. Robinson in his role as a professor of history would say, the more times change, the more they stay the same. There are real challenges and real opportunities in this moment. For in this time, in so many places, you and the power of your education are needed now more than ever. In the time of your education here in Fayetteville, you have already lived through and faced up to the ongoing challenges of the here and now, a public health and healthcare crisis, an economic and financial crisis, not least of which, yes, is student debt, which our Chancellor and our Provost are committed to addressing, a social and racial justice crisis, a climate change and environmental crisis in which, we must all confess, architecture, engineering, and construction constitutes about 40% of carbon emissions. But look around you right now. Look at your amazing, empowered colleagues. Each of our departments, each of our centers, all of us are engaged in addressing these challenges. Each of us, no matter our discipline or degree, is charged to address these issues. Each one of you, through your respective educations, is indirectly or now directly called to action. Brandon Bibby has just done so. To, yes, address the fierce urgency of now through the transformative power of the knowledge, even the wisdom you have gained here. The last encouragement is not about saving the world in a grand or apocalyptic or superheroic sense. No such claim could be made for architecture, nor for landscape architecture, nor for interior architecture, design in general. Each spring for the last 9 springs in our school commencement, I have suggested another more humble understanding of architecture and design to our graduates. One that will now be perhaps familiar to the studio students I had this past spring, an understanding provided by my mentor, the great Finnish architect Alvar Aalto. Architecture and design may not be able to save the world, but perhaps it can set the world a small example. And in this spirit, by extension of that architect's proposal, I propose that education may not be able to save the world, but perhaps education can set the world a small, even heroic example. Now, it's quite true, as the scholar of music that I sometimes am, as the great daughter of the Delta, Tina Turner, bravely sang to us, we don't need another hero, but we do need heroic action. We need the mindset, the belief, the behavior, the engaged everyday acts of what I call quiet heroism. Thoughtful individual acts of kindness, tenderness, tolerance, and mutual respect, achieved in small, understated, but constant and collective ways in our encounters with each other, in our classrooms, across our campus, in our communities, in our fields and forests, and on our streets, and in our civic spaces. This is the authentic heroism that comes by virtue of education, not one of arrogance, but one of humility, tolerance, and consolation. For as I am often fond of saying, as the poet May Sarton advises us, sometimes one must think like a hero simply to behave like a merely decent human being. And here now, in this time and place, remembering and visioning, possessed by this, all of this, and by the diploma that's in your hands, let's just say that we are all educators. That is to say, people who think like heroes, who behave like decent human beings, who set the world a small example, each and every day for the greater good. So let's commence. Let's get the party started. I will close now with this. The world ahead is both challenge and opportunity. But as I hope my enthusiasms for your education in our school have suggested, you are well prepared to commence your further journeys. The University of Arkansas and the Fay Jones School has benefited enormously from your contributions during your years with us. And we are very, very grateful and so very admiring of all that you have done. We have been challenged and inspired by you, and we will look forward to your accomplishments and your return as alumni. For now, you'll have the university's diploma arriving soon, with all its many meanings and encouragements, and the university's deep gratitude and congratulations. You have our expectation that you can and will lead by design. Congratulations, designers, educators, graduates of the University of Arkansas, Spring 2023. Our commencement programs identify a fantastic commencement committee that made all of this possible for us. The staff here at the Barnhill Arena, I want to recognize all of you for your good work, but I certainly want to recognize our own school staff for making this day so well organized, and ask for a round of applause for them, please. As always in these ceremonies, having called forth the spirit of 50 years ago, we will recess to a recessional drawn from 50 years ago. This is a fantastic, or I should say a yearly debate amongst the Dean's Office staff as to what that song from 1973 will be. Herewith, we will begin our recessional, and hopefully you will know it as quickly as we all love it. With that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Safe home, everyone. Enjoy your evenings. Thank you, parents and families. Thank you, graduates. Up with the music.